Ready or not, we are live. Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Live call-in show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Today is Sunday, December the 10th, 2023. I'm joined, as I always am, 75% of the time.
Woo! Hey, that's an uptick, baby.
Mr. Cole Pinkston, Mr. Jhead. How about you, fellas?
How about you?
How about you?
That's a big dog.
Oh, I got to put my board post up.
Ooh.
Oh, you got to let them know we're live, Cole.
You got to let them know.
Got to let them know. Lots going on this week. Last week, it's the first day of the week, I guess, technically. A lot going on last week. Hell, a lot going on this week. Auburn picked up a commitment about an hour ago. Transfer wide receiver Robert Lewis from Georgia State. He's got 1 year of eligibility left. Kind of a slot playmaker type deal.
Yeah, I think he gives you some flexibility. He could play outside of the Z. He's predominantly probably going to be featured in the slot, but a guy that gives you some explosion down the field, a little bit more playmaking ability than some of the other guys you've had in that room. I think Cole hit the nail on the head as far as describing him as a player in his piece. So for those of you that aren't a member of On 3, please go become a member. It's $1 for 2 months. Am I right on that, guys? $1
just for the YouTube people.
Just for the YouTubers.
For those that are watching tonight, it's $1 for 2 months.
But you got to use the promo code AU1.
Nice.
All caps, one word.
Read Cole's piece. I think he did a fantastic job breaking it down. But it's an upgrade, guys. I mean, I think the way you have to look at it is, does the piece upgrade the floor of the room? I think Robert Lewis absolutely upgrades the floor of that room and gives you another playmaker that you need.
Go ahead, Cole.
Sorry, Jeffrey. I think taking Robert Lewis means something. I think it means there's room to add multiple receivers here, like 3, 4. I think it could go that high from the portal. Maybe 2 to 3, 3 to 4 wouldn't shock me, is all I'm saying. The reason why I say that, I look at Robert Lewis. I like Robert Lewis. I think he's a playmaker. I like what he does with the ball in his hand. I think that's number one. I didn't really see a whole lot of guys on Auburn's team last year that could do a whole lot after the catch.
Right.
If we're being honest. Now, they had to catch it first. That was number one. So there's that. Auburn had to have help in that regard, and they got it with Robert Lewis, in my opinion. Is he the guy that's going to get open every single play? Is he the guy that's just, breaking away from people all the time? I don't see that with him. And to me, that means there's room to add several more pieces like this in that receiver room. So I think that's the start of what you could see, maybe 2 or 3 more guys in that room from the portal.
And I will tell you this, I think we had an issue, we talked about it on this show, of G5 receivers and do their traits translate to the Power 5 level, specifically in the SEC. Robert Lewis played LSU this year. LSU secondary was not fantastic, but I watched the matchups and he got open consistently down the field. Now, they didn't always hit him with the ball, but he was able to create separation where our wide receivers were not in the same game that we played in Baton Rouge. So to me, that was a plus to see that capability on that big of a stage.
Auburn also had in Matthew Bedford, a big offensive tackle from Indiana, on Wednesday, Thursday, I do believe. And then Jaquan Scott. Jaquan Scott, interior offensive lineman from Southern Miss, left today. He will be choosing between Auburn and Ole Miss in the next day or so. Then you had Mac Pounders, big dog OT from Memphis, show up today for his visit. He'll leave tomorrow afternoon. Amara Scott, who is a high school kid, 4-star high school top 100 kid, committed to Florida from North Carolina. He will be in for an official visit tomorrow. Jaleel Skinner has set a tight end from Miami has set an official visit for next weekend. Jared Brown, Coastal Carolina wide receiver, he's an outside guy, 6'2" type guy. He's going to come in next weekend as well. There's going to be a lot more visits throughout the week and weekend. As Jay had said, if you're not already, get subscribe to Auburn Live on 3. Come join us, man. We're having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun on the corner. Like I said, AU1, use that promo code for 2 months for $1. It's ridiculous. I'm going to try to get On 3 to cut that off because it's just highway robbery. I'm not really, but you know what I mean. All right, we want to get to the phone line, 701-779-9585. Before we do, wanted to tell all those people in the DMs that were looking for house help. I got you right here, big dog. Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group. If you're in Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, if you're looking to move to Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, or if you're in Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, want to move to Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, look no further for the help you need. I promise you, she will make it happen. Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group, 334-704-4442. She is a 5-star realtor with the Talents Group. Give her a call. Tell her we sent you. Might help me out. Also, want to give a how about you a little impromptu. How about you to Mr. Pierce? Mr. Pierce, I met Pierce today at the Auburn Hotel.
Oh, nice.
Fan of the show, and said he would be watching tonight. And he was walking out of there with a pretty little girl on his arm.
Okay.
Figured that was his sister or cousin or something, because she's too pretty to be with him.
You tell
he didn't have on any Alabama gear though, so that couldn't have been his relative.
Oh yeah. Fears assuaged on that one, baby.
Oh, all right, Zach in the back, coming in the front because you got us a call.
Oh, we have like 15 calls.
Get in here, big dog.
Let's knock them out, big dog.
9699. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
How about you guys? This is
How about you?
Calling from San Antonio.
I'm sorry, dude. I was talking over you. What did you say your name was?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, what's your name?
Uh-oh,
Zach's freaking out, dude. Look at him.
No. I mean, just saying that we have input. I don't know if he's breaking up.
Okay.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I wonder if it got messed up because I got kicked off right before we went live. I'm gonna relaunch the call line. I'll be all right.
Okay. All right. So I guess I wonder if they have to call back in.
Probably
Reset.
If he's going to read. So for any of you guys that were on hold, call back as soon as you see Zach pop back on. Call back in, please. If you get disconnected for any reason, okay?
Hey, Zach. Before we went on, said we're over 8,000 subs on our YouTube page. Is that what they are? Subscribers?
Yep.
Yeah. So listen, okay. If you haven't already, dude, this is the best way to help us out on YouTube, at least on the website. Obviously, give us a try with a $1 membership. But subscribe to our YouTube channel, Auburn Live on 3 YouTube channel, the one you're watching right now, and you can hit those notifications, man. We're going to be doing 2 more recruiting shows this week. We're going to come out with one Tuesday morning, and then we'll have another one. Is it Friday morning? I forgot. We're going to do it Thursday night for Friday morning. So click those notifications so you'll get notified when new videos are uploaded. I think Justin's got a basketball show going on this week or through the season. So a lot going on this channel. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that like. I don't know what likes do. I always hear subscribe and like to my channel. I don't know what that does, but subscribe to it, I guess.
It makes me feel good. That's what it does.
Yeah.
So you hit the like button, it makes Jhead feel good. But hey, guys, I think we may try to do something special when we get to 10K. So please continue to subscribe.
Absolutely. And don't forget, we have got a signing day show. This is going to be off the chain. If you missed it last year, man, we go for like 5 hours straight live, and you want to be a part of it.
You taking off work that day, Jhead?
Oh yeah, I'll be there.
Are you?
Jhead taking off, son.
All right, Zach, what you got, big dog?
We're going to Kevin for Wilmer while we wait for our first caller.
What's up?
Kevin, you're live, man.
Kevin from Wilmer, Alabama.
Oh, Kevin. How about you, Kevin?
How about Cam Coleman, DeMarcus Riddick, and everybody coming there?
And everybody.
I hear you, Kevin. That's what everybody mean. I like.
Well, you know what? Let's simplify his question. Do you see anybody wavering? Are you concerned about any of everybody's the commitment list? I think it's 19, 18. When you're not counting Martavius Collins. So you got 18 commitments right now. Is there anyone, or let's say this: if you're doing a list 118, who's number one on you're most concerned with?
Actually, Jeffrey, I'm with you now on Dimitri Nicholas, who's currently committed. That's defensive lineman from Miami Norland High School, I believe, who just played. I think they maybe lost in their state championship game.
I thought they won the state championship last weekend, and then they just played for it Saturday. Max Preps really makes me look bad sometimes, and I shouldn't rely on them as much as I do.
I've gone to the wrong stadium because of Max Preps before. Anyway, Demetri Nicholas, Jeffrey, you wrote about him and said, look, I don't know. We're not sure what to make.
Something's up.
Seems a little fishy, right?
All right.
Well, I asked about him a little bit when I was at the complex the other day, and it sounds like everything's good.
All right.
But will he sign in December? Now I don't know. So he's one for sure. Other than that, everybody else looks pretty good. Chad Simmons put up a video with DeMarcus Riddick today, and he's all excited, had all his Auburn gear on. Everything sounds good. Everything sounds good.
I'm kind of trying to think who would be number 2. I don't know if any other commitments taking visits.
I know.
At least I'm not aware of.
People are like banging on the keyboard right now, wanting us to talk about Perry Thompson.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I was wondering who was going to break the seal on that because
what did he do
weekend?
What's going on with him?
I checked on Perry Thompson too. Okay, for everybody that's been asking, because I don't know how to give another answer other than we have heard nothing to make us think anything was different, and neither have our Alabama affiliates either. Right. So, checked on that.
Here's the thing. So our subscribers are blaming it on the $1 deal, right? Like all the Alabama trolls, and I started deleting them because a lot of it is. But I'm going. It works both ways, right?
Of course it does.
Auburn's site is not the only one offering the $1 deal.
Yeah, everybody's offering that.
Like if fans are so easily manipulated by rival fans, instead of bitching about it, won't you fight back a little bit?
Now, all right. Before we start,
Alabama has the $1 deal too, big dog. I'm just saying.
Before we start doing a turf war with BOL over here.
Hey, Shannon. Oh, my bad, big dog.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Look, is Perry Thompson still being recruited by Alabama?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Look, Kevin Steele's been by there to see him during the evaluation season and the visit season. They're not going to let up on him. But is Perry wavering? I haven't heard that. Cole, you haven't heard that. Jeffrey, I don't think you've heard that either. I think we've all heard that he's relatively solid with his commitment, and he's still recruiting very actively for Auburn. And with that, go ahead.
Let me just be real with everybody for just a second, okay? If you feel 100% confidence, and you're one of those guys that gets on Twitter and you jump in the comments like, man, y'all stupid for thinking Perry gonna flip back to y'all, man. Here's the thing. I hate to be this guy, but Alabama just beat Auburn in a really improbable way. Crap like that happens, guys. It happens, okay? You have to be on your P's and Q's when Auburn's recruiting with Alabama's talent, okay? The guys that Alabama's been getting the past 5 years. How do you feel confident? Like, man, no doubt. It's happening. As an Auburn fan, when you've watched them for the last 10 years, still all the players you wanted. All right? But that's why Hugh Freeze has started this flip the script thing. They're going to try to get it different. Perry Thompson was the beginning of that, and I think they hold on to him. I don't feel like anything's changed there. But I wanted to tell you that because don't be naive, man. I mean, things happen like that. But, again, talk to people in the building. Sounds like everything's good with Perry Thompson with Auburn.
Yeah, my whole point of saying that is Alabama's not conceding anything, just like Auburn's not conceding anything at this point, right? Like Auburn's not conceding on Ron Williams just because he's committed to Alabama. Alabama's not conceding Perry Thompson to Auburn just because he's committed to Auburn.
Sure,
they're going to continue to work in that recruitment and stay on it. So expect there to be things that are said, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Perry's flipping or anything like that. Auburn fans have got to get used to big boy recruiting, okay? And to relax when you get into these kind of battles and understand that rumors are going to be started, things are going to be said. But unless one of the two people on this panel tell you like, hey, you need to be concerned, and just relax for a little bit, okay? Breathe some. Zach, let's get to you, okay?
Yeah, I'm with Cole. Listen, if George Pickens and Reuben Foster taught you anything, I would just stay out of the Twitter comments.
You just forget about that? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
No.
Whatever.
George
We're
was epic meltdown.
We're gonna go back to 9699. You're live, man.
How about you guys? Can y'all hear me?
We got you.
I'm frozen. Oh, that's the live show. I got it paused. I flipped over to the YouTube. My bad, big dog. All right, now 9699.
Y'all are good.
What's your name, big
I
dog?
just want to apologize real quick. That might have been my fault to begin with. I don't know if you ever been to Joint Base San Antonio Lackland, but it leaves a lot to be desired as far as Wi-Fi and cell service goes.
I actually have, and you're not lying,
Wow.
brother. I'm a
Well, a lot to be desired with the women, according to Charles Barkley.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I fully subscribe to that too.
Well, hey, man, did we ever get your name?
I'm Jafar on the message board.
Okay.
Oh, Jafar, yeah.
Spell it.
Oh, sorry. Did y'all say something? I couldn't hear you.
Spell it.
He wanted you to spell it.
Yeah, spell Jafar.
Oh, it's Jafaur.
I knew there was an AU in there.
Okay,
I
all
remember.
right.
I remember the username.
All right, Jafar from San Antonio. What's on your mind tonight, big dog?
All right, real quick. I just wanted to ask a couple of questions. I know y'all got a lot of people on the line, so I'll ask them real quick and I'll hang up and listen.
All right, fair enough.
But first, I was wondering, do you guys have a playoff team that y'all are kind of hoping to take the chip home? Obviously, it's not going to be Bama, but they're one that you're kind of rooting for in the background. And then second, do y'all foresee them moving early signing day or adding another signing day to the season at some point to kind of get rid of a lot of this traffic that happens at the end of the year with high school recruits and then the portal opening up around the same time?
I got answers.
And that's really all I got, man. I appreciate y'all taking my call. I love the show. War Eagle.
Appreciate you, Jafar. Sure do, man. Jhead, take it away, big dog.
So, playoff team, I am absolutely pulling for Michigan because I want chaos. I want to have to see Charlie Baker hand Jim Harbaugh the national championship and him give double birds to everybody in the Big Ten after he gets it. Absolute chaos. That's what I want. On the National Signing Day part of things, there have been things kicked around in the coaching community that I know they want this resolved. They either want one of two things. They either want it moved back to the original signing day so coaches can stop getting fired mid-season so that they can get a jump on the hiring process, or two, they want an early signing day to couple with this signing day and move it to August as opposed to December. It's just too chaotic right now.
Boy, that would be awesome.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, make it happen.
They're talking. It's one of two things. They're either going to do it all at the end, or they're going to break it up and have one in February and one in August. You know, and obviously kids would be automatically released from the NLI should the head coach get fired during the season, what have you. But they realize that right now this situation just doesn't play the way it's supposed to.
It's too much for everybody.
It is. And then you got transfers coming in on top of this and everything.
Yes.
You know, it's playoffs are about to start. They're going to expand, and you're going to have 3 playoff games, potentially a 4th if they ever expand to 16. So it's just a lot up in the air, and they know they need to fix the recruiting calendar.
Cole, do you have a playoff? Zach, you have a playoff favorite team?
Yeah, I'm really hoping that Florida State wins this thing, guys. Like that is.
Dude, did you
I'm
really?
I'm kidding. Texas is who I want to win.
Okay. Damn, that's weird. Me too, Zach.
Yeah.
I want to see the matchup
different
with Texas and Alabama. I want to see that, and then I want to see Texas beat them again.
Okay.
So it's Michigan, Bama, Texas, Washington.
Yes.
That Texas-Washington game is going to be insane.
I like Washington.
Washington's a lot better than I thought, man. I like watching them play.
Was I the one person that said Washington at the beginning of the year that was going to make the playoff?
I think so.
was.
I said Oregon. I said Oregon.
Well, dude, look, if you'd have asked me last week, like I thought Oregon was going to just absolutely destroy Washington, and they did not, man. Like that was that
win, that might have been the most impressive win of the year by any team. Washington's win over Oregon the second time, because it's hard to beat somebody twice, especially. I mean, look, Bo Nix is good. Oregon's good. They're a pretty good, well-rounded football team, and that's a good win, man. If Michael Penix had won the Heisman last night, I would not have argued with that at all.
No, I thought that he should have been. Did he finish number 2?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I thought he should have. I mean, I thought Jaden Daniels was the Heisman, but I'm with you, Cole. I thought there was an argument for Michael Penix for sure.
Zach, did you say Texas as well?
No, I said Washington. I just want to see Penix, man, because of his injury coming from Indiana. He finally got to this point. And then also, I really do like Kalen DeBoer, too, as a head coach. Like, I think he's one of the best coaches in the country.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good, man. I'm just going full wrestling. I want the heel to win, dude. I want Jim Harbaugh. And you know what I mean? Like, I want him literally to go like do snow angels after he gets done. You know what I mean?
He's gonna wear like an old wrestling like NWA shirt and say bet for his post-game interview and walk off the stage.
Talking weird stuff like he does about eating steak
Boy,
at the same time.
He is a bird, isn't he? But he's fun to watch.
All right, Jafar, good stuff, big dog. Appreciate you, man.
We got our guy Carter Maldron on the line. Carter, you're live.
North Carolina, I think.
Georgia.
Guys, how's it going?
East Georgia. What's up, Carter?
Hey, Carter, what's up?
Not too much. I just wanted to call in and I wanted to see, y'all think that the staff is going to really, really push to get KJ Bolden and Cohen and all these other big dogs like LJ in the boat before signing day to build some momentum with the class and finish it off before then? Or do you think that our best chance is getting them up until signing day and having a big splash then?
KJ Bolden, 5-star safety, committed to Florida State. LJ McCray, 5-star defensive lineman, committed to Florida. Who was the other one? Cohen Eccles, no longer committed. It's got to be good news for Auburn. At least we presume it to be.
Yes.
Yeah. But you know what? Okay, it's a fair question. KJ still got an official visit to Florida State scheduled for next weekend.
Yes.
Cohen is kind of gone quiet, which might be a good thing. LJ McCray is, I think he visited Florida State on Friday. He visited Auburn on Saturday, and I don't know of any other plans for him. So I think really don't know timetable wise for any of them, though.
I think it's all signing day action.
Yeah.
I honestly do. Like, I don't get the hint. Maybe Seth Wilford pops early, but I think he's even because he's going to visit to Iowa State. I think he's probably going to be closer to signing day. So I don't know. I mean, I don't see any ads unless somebody comes out of the woodwork. I do not see anybody we're going to add to this class unless it's a transfer prior to signing day.
The thing with KJ and LJ is like, what are you going to announce? That you're sticking with your commitment? I mean, this happened a lot before. It's not like a commitment's never had an announcement before. You know,
on a lot of these recruitments, I like to go back and think the year before. All right, go back to Keldrick Falk.
Yeah.
I want to go back to December 10th and go, now what were we writing about? What were we talking about? What were we thinking on Keldrick on that day? That was 10 days away from signing day. He ended up signing with Auburn. It's crazy when you go back and look that some of these things didn't happen until like the 11th hour. You know, the intel that Auburn really was going to make it happen didn't start pouring in until the 19th. It's crazy. So that's why I keep, I said on the last show, Auburn doesn't subscribe to that whole roller coaster thing. They think they're in it. They thought they were in it in the summer. They think they're in it now. And they have never wavered.
No, this time last year, Sylvester Smith wasn't even on our radar.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
You're right about that. You're kind of about that, Roach.
And did anybody think we were going to flip a cornerback from Ohio State? I did not.
Or Connor Lew from Miami.
Right. I think Phillip Dukes might have been the only one that had that one. And, shout out to him for having that insight on that one. But other than that, man, no, I'm with you on Connor. Connor Lew was a complete hey, I'm just showing up for an OV. And then I flipped 2 days later.
Hey, a couple of news things before we move on. Nate Clifton, Vanderbilt defensive lineman that Auburn offered, he just committed to USC.
Doesn't shock me.
That's
Kendall
3 CDBs.
Kendall Simmons, assistant offensive line coach, has taken
State.
the offensive line coach job at Middle Tennessee State.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I had heard
Good
that
for you, Kendall.
last week.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
That is awesome. What I wanted to say about these guys is when it comes to guys like this, elite recruits, it doesn't matter what happens up until the 11th hour. It's going to be in that 11th hour where these decisions are made. And I point towards now, sure, you've got your Perry Thompsons, your DeMarcus Riddicks, who just kind of did the thing. And all right. But now you go back to Joe Phillips. He was going to Georgia until the last day. He was going to Georgia on Monday. He committed to Auburn on Tuesday. Cam Franklin was committing to Auburn on Friday. He committed to Ole Miss on Saturday. Jalewis Solomon was committing to Auburn at 12 o'clock. He was committing to South Carolina at 12 o'clock. He committed to Auburn at 1 o'clock. These, even though it's like, oh man, we feel like Auburn's in a good spot, maybe even leading. But man, nothing's going to be decided for a lot of these guys until it's time.
Baby.
It's just, For a lot of these guys, especially these elite guys where you've got Georgia, Florida State, Auburn, Florida, all these guys coming at you, it's going to come down to that last minute for a lot of these guys. And it might be the same with KJ Bolden. Hell, he committed LJ McCray, both of those guys. I felt like Auburn finished second for both. Now, maybe Alabama says they finished second for both, and Georgia feels like they finished, what I mean? But I'm pretty confident in that.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I just wanted to say that was, don't forget, a lot of these guys changed their mind in the last 24 hours leading up to their announcement.
That's a great point.
All right, Zach, keep us going, big dog.
5810 needs no introduction. You're live.
Get in here.
Fellas, Anthony from Montgomery.
Hey, Anthony from Montgomery. How about you, big dog? Talk to us.
I'm all right. Can y'all hear me?
We can, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to make it quick, man. I got 3 questions. First question is, it's becoming clear that we're riding into spring and next season with Payne Thorne. Do you guys think that Payne has done enough from a proof of concept here at Auburn and at Michigan State for elite offensive talents to want to come play with him? I understand that he's probably telling them to look at him improving throughout the year. But do you think they're looking at him like a quarterback that they want to play with? That's question 1. Question 2 is, with Robbie most likely moving on in the summer, how do you think they handle the spring rotation? Who is quarterback 2? And then my third question is Walker White. I actually asked this for the recruitment show, but I don't think y'all got to it. But anyway, with Walker White, is Walker White a red shirt 1 year and then take over the reins year 2, or do he need to develop more and probably a 2 or 3 year down the line guy and possibly hold his start in 2 years? That's all my questions.
All right. So how does the future at quarterback look? We'll start there. We'll work our way back.
Sure. I haven't heard anything on the transfer portal quarterback front as of late. I mean, I haven't heard anything since it appeared that Riley Leonard was going to be from people I trust, that when Riley Leonard was going to go to Notre Dame, that was the guy I felt like we would try to make a move on. And short of that, I haven't really heard any legitimate buzz on anybody else that's been in the portal. Again, in the portal, and I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I think you can go back 2 years ago and sell Payton Thorne. I think you probably try to show this as if you're Hugh Freeze and Payton Thorne is who you're going to go with, you're going to point to 2 seasons ago when he was right at Michigan State and the numbers he was able to put up and the completion percentage, touchdowns, the playmakers were featured on the outside. And you'll say to them, look, this is what he was able to do when he had healthy, good pieces around him and what he was capable of. Is that the best sales pitch? I have no idea, but that's exactly how you're going to go about it, in my honest opinion. He was productive and he got the ball in the places it needed to be there when he had other featured outside pieces.
I'll say something real quick, a little supplement to that, Jhead. Whatever they're getting told, it's working because you've got Perry Thompson committed, you've got Cam Coleman committed, and you've got 2 in-state studs that I believe are elite too in Bryce Kane and Malcolm Simmons, all committed. So whatever he's telling them, they're buying in.
Correct. Correct. And Cole, I mean, give me your 2 cents here, and then we'll move to the second question.
Yeah, well, I can see what Auburn's doing. To me, the Robert Lewis commitment means a lot to me in regards to quarterback, because that's a guy that is a different kind of weapon than what you had this past year, as in he can make plays after he catches the football. They're adding guys like that, and I think they're going to add several. I think they looked at it, took a good look at things, and said the best investment here is to get more weapons around Thorne. Now, I do have a theory about the quarterback position. I think they could get a quarterback from the transfer portal, but I don't think it's going to be Cam Ward, Riley Leonard, one of these big name guys. I think they will rely on Ken Austin's quarterback, evaluation skills. They find a guy that maybe a younger guy, or they go to a guy that's been a good player at a smaller school and say, this is our guy to come in and help bridge the gap for a guy like Walker White, Hank Brown, the younger guys. I think that's possible. I think all you have to do for Peyton Thorne, you don't have to go back to Michigan State. I think you go to Auburn and you look at how he operated the RPOs. Hugh Freeze is an RPO guy, and he's found a guy in Peyton Thorne that handles it well. I mean, I could go back and grade all the games that he ran RPOs. It's really high. He just maneuvered it well, right? When you got into the drop back situations is when you started having issues, and that's not all on Thorne. Some of it's on protection. Some of it's on the receivers. We've been through that whole thing. All right. So I think that there's enough proof of concept from his Auburn tape to say that he can be pretty good with some more weapons.
Okay.
Walker White, red shirt.
I think the next question was
Robbie.
It was Robbie, and then
QB2.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to say what I have heard from two different people I absolutely trust, and that is Hugh Freeze loves Holden Geriner, loves that kid, thinks that he has a lot of upside. I think if you roll with Peyton Thorne, Holden Geriner is your number 2, pushing number 1. That's my honest belief. Walker White, to answer that real quick, and then I'll toss it to you two. Yes, I think he's going to need a couple years of development. I don't think he's a guy that's going to come in off of a redshirt year and be ready to be the guy. That's just my opinion right now. It doesn't mean that I don't love Walker's talent ceiling. I think he's got as high of a ceiling as any quarterback Auburn's had in a long time. But I do think that he's going to need some development at the next level, coming from the level of play in Arkansas that he's faced right now by comparison to some of the athletes he's going to see in the SEC. And look, there have been a lot of very talented quarterbacks that had to wait their turn in the SEC. That doesn't make him different from a lot of players. So I'm not trying to take a shot at him just because he's not ready to be, the guy after one redshirt season. But
what is Holden going to be? Holden will be a junior next year?
He'll be a redshirt sophomore.
So he's a redshirt sophomore. Walker will be a redshirt. So Holden will be a redshirt junior. He'll be a redshirt freshman.
Yep.
So if Holden were to win out and start for 2 years, is that right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Walker would take over as a redshirt junior.
For 2 years.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you want, isn't it?
Sure.
In my opinion, if you can keep everybody happy in that room, that's exactly what you want. And that would be natural development in that.
I was going to say old school shit right there.
And not having to go out and buy a transfer quarterback. And look, Georgia's been able to do that. Alabama's been able to do that at this point.
Yeah.
Look, Alabama went and brought in a transfer this past year. I think that dude just signed a scholarship to go play lacrosse somewhere. Okay.
Yeah, he went back to Notre Dame to play lacrosse.
Right. You know what I mean? And the guy that they had developed from day one ended up being the dude, right? So having a guy that understands your system, grows in that system.
I love that.
Right. I'm with you, Jeffrey. I think there's something to that. And you see that some of look, Michigan, same situation. I think Penix is the only quarterback in the playoff that was a transfer, correct?
Bo Nix. Well, no, Bo Nix missed it. I was talking about thinking Heisman because it was the last 5 Heisman winners.
Quinn Ewers transferred.
Quinn Ewers transferred to from Ohio State.
But has multiple years in that system, right? It doesn't have 3 years in that system.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
he never played at Ohio State. He just transferred.
Yeah. Because remember, he got there in August. Remember, he skipped a senior year
Yep. Got there in August, rocked that mullet, and then decided Ohio wasn't for
Texas. Yeah. I like that. I like that timeline. I like that recipe. I would love for Auburn to be growing their quarterbacks within the system and not bringing in that mercenary.
Right. And maybe they do bring in a guy. What I was told, and I promise you, these are people I trust explicitly. Hugh Freeze loves Holden Geriner.
I meant to say this too. I think I've said this before, but he loves Henry Brown too.
Yeah,
he does. He definitely does. And that's a guy he brought in.
Yeah,
and that was my point too with the transfer quarterback. If they bring in a guy, now he may not look like they may go for a smaller school guy, a guy that maybe doesn't have the numbers of what some of these big quarterbacks. But to them, that's a guy they brought in and they evaluated and they feel like they have some control over in a way, if that makes sense.
Right. No, I agree.
Right now, you're looking at 4 on the depth chart. If you don't bring in a transfer and Robbie leaves, or you've got Peyton Thorne, Holden Geriner, Hank Brown, and Walker White going through spring.
Yeah, the 4 scholarship quarterbacks is where you want to be pretty much.
And then listen, you get a guy like KJ Lacey, 2025.
Yeah, man.
That's a great quarterback room. Now you're looking at Holden Geriner, Hank Brown, Walker White, and a KJ Lacey type, or whoever that was. You've always got 4. It's a great opportunity for Hugh to develop those guys within the system. By the time it's 2025, 2026, you think Auburn's playing, and you think Auburn's in the playoffs. That's the trajectory I expect from this program.
Pushing for it at the very least, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. All right, my bad. Hey, great call, Anthony, as always, buddy. We appreciate you, man. Keep us going, Zach.
6609. You're live. Who we talking to? Where you calling from?
This is 896 in Brentwood, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Hey,
what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, I just wanted to point out that in terms of inside the state, like out of the top 20, Auburn's almost got half. And I was wondering if you guys had an update on Bradley Shaw and Jaden Lewis.
Cole?
Okay. I'm glad you said something about Jaden Lewis because I have got to go and change that RPM pick I have for Auburn because he's not going to end up at Auburn.
Oh, crap. Did I do that?
Yeah, that's really annoying too. That
people don't realize that.
It messes up
half our misses or we got them right. And
yeah,
it's like Jamarian Burnett. I almost sent you that the other day and I checked and you had changed it to Mizzou.
I changed it to Missouri because I keep my own record because I'm that guy. I have to do it. I'm sorry. I have to be that guy. I keep my own record on my RPM rundown, and I want to be right. Dang it!
Yeah, I got Jaden Lewis to Auburn. You do not, Cole.
Oh, did I never put one in for him?
Keith and I have.
Oh, good.
I have no idea. Tell me who I should put.
I don't know. I haven't followed him in a while, but I think the point of A96's question is like, top 20 in Alabama are usually really good. So Auburn, where did they stand with everybody in the top 20? Jaden Lewis, that was a guy they had committed but decided, we're good. I think we're okay there. I think we're going to be okay at DB. He's one that we probably could do without. And then I think they feel the same way about Bradley Shaw at linebacker. They probably could have had him at one point, and they didn't push.
Hey, I got something for you. So he went to Louisville. This is Jaden Lewis. Went to Louisville for an official visit.
Yeah.
Mississippi State.
Yep.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
So he'll end up in the SEC, or he's not going to end up at Jacksonville State.
Last I poked around, and Jeffrey, you got a better connection in Arkansas than I do, but you might want to check with them. I think that's probably where he's going to land. That's what I was going to say.
Well, I guarantee you they've got a better chance of landing him than Auburn does.
Flip it.
Yeah.
Flip it. Flip that pick, Jeffrey.
Done deal, son.
And I have no idea where Fat Burnett ends up. Not a clue.
I think Missouri. I mean,
that's been all. Yeah.
I can change it again if I'm wrong because I'm not really following his recruitment anymore. But he just spent the whole weekend at Missouri. That's usually pretty cool.
That might be a good landing spot after what they did with Schrader this year.
Yeah, dude, look, hey, I think Fat Burnett's good. I feel that way about him. I think if he ever hones in that he's a heavier guy and can run downhill on people, it's going to be over. I mean, that guy's physically gifted,
Bradley Shaw, Cole, I think me and you talked about him a couple weeks ago.
Arkansas?
That's what I thought.
That's where I'm going with.
Clemson, maybe?
Yeah, I forgot about Clemson. You remember when he was like Clemson, Notre Dame, and Auburn? And
yeah.
I feel like things went sideways with him in Clemson. Like I think Arkansas is probably it, but I don't know that. I could be wrong there.
Good stuff, though. Appreciate you, 896.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time.
5225. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
5225. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
My name's Brandon from Bryson City.
Brandon from Bryson City.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, will you turn down that volume in the background, big dog?
Yep. Just listen to the phone there, brother.
Talk to us like your side chick.
Text that one out.
He just hung up. That might have
been. Did he really?
Yeah.
His wife was listening.
Jay Lee causing divorces on the live stream.
I'm telling you, bro.
9485. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, it's David from Kings Mountain, North Carolina.
Kings Mountain.
Called back at the beginning of the year because I'm an App State grad, and I was screaming the praises of Jalen McLeod, and that really paid off for Auburn. I'm a new member on Auburn Live, so I've enjoyed all the content. Got a quick question about NIL and a theory I've got.
Shoot.
Instead of throwing money at a high-price portal QB, do you think they're saving some money to go strong after Ryan Williams and LJ and KJ, and have they taken their final shot with NIL?
That's good stuff. I was actually David from Kings Mountain. So when we were talking about not going after a big quarterback like the Riley Leonards or the Cam Wards, it's certainly more economical.
Yeah, it is because
they're expensive.
Your quarterback situation is not what it was a year ago. It's just not.
Right.
It's much better, in my opinion. Is it as good as it could possibly be? Maybe not, but it's much better, and it's manageable, and you can win more games than you won this season with your quarterback situation if you have more weapons, which that's where the investment should be right now, in my opinion. And if you're trying to get more weapons, the portal's good. High school's better. I know they're going to be freshmen, but that's how you build a program.
Yeah, think about Keon Coleman, how he made Peyton Thorne look. You don't think Cam Coleman's going to be as good as him? You don't think Perry Thompson's going to be? I mean, in the same wheelhouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
I expect them to be, at least.
And to me, this is probably not the year to go get that. Like next year, to me, screams. If you're going to go get a big-time quarterback, let these freshmen get in here and get their feet wet in the system for a year, and then you sell them to whoever's going to be coming in saying, look, I got 5 stars all over the place. Do you want to be the guy that gets them the ball? But no, I'm with you in the fact that, look, there's only a certain amount of money right at the end of the day.
Yeah, right.
Whatever they've allotted for the entire budget for the football team, is that $11 million? Is that $10 million? Is that more than that? I have no idea where Auburn's NIL is as far as a budget goes for the entire team, but you got to fit within the constraints of whatever your budget is. And it certainly makes a lot of sense to me to put that money in other places and make Auburn a more ideal fit so that when that quarterback does come in, it's a Michael Penix, Jaden Daniels type situation where they're just ready to take off because all the weapons are already there. Everything's already set for them and the plate is cleared. So That's kind of my gut feeling on it anyway.
I like it. Good stuff, David.
2457. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
How about you, fellas?
Is that Sky?
It is.
Sky. How about you, Sky?
No. Let's see. The feedback went away. No, it's still doing it.
You sound good to us, big dog.
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
We don't care about you. It sounds good on the show. That's all we care about.
All right, man.
Sorry, big dog.
he got his feelings hurt on that one.
Freaking Eeyore over there. All right, man. Thanks for noticing me.
No. Earbuds out. My little earbuds out because I was hearing the echo. Sorry about that. Ask you guys a couple questions, man. Well, first about the quarterback situation. I agree with Cole. I believe, and Hugh Freeze and his staff, if they surround Peyton Thorne with playmakers, I think he can be successful. But I'm concerned about his arm strength. I can't remember really him hitting a receiver, throwing a bomb and hit the receiver in stride this season. Felt like every one was a little underthrown. They had to stop and catch the ball, or it was dropped outright. But that's my one concern about Peyton Thorne. But y'all know football better than me. Y'all are smarter than me. Okay. This is Sky and Leeds. I don't know if I said that or not. You're absolutely right, Jeffrey. Y'all see that as a weakness too, his arm strength? Jhead and Cole and Jeffrey?
I know what he's talking about.
I do too. I think he's got enough arm strength. And look, if Sky's talking specifically about 9 routes, to me, that's more timing and touch than it is actual arm strength. I mean, you got to have enough arm strength to push it down the field, but it doesn't require a bazooka to do that. Okay. That's more on your out routes, I mean, like your deep outs, things like that. That's where that real arm strength gets flashed.
Absolutely. That's a dangerous pass if you don't have the arm strength.
It absolutely is. You stay away from it. But our receivers, honestly, to me, the timing, they just were never in sync with what Thorne was doing, as far as his read goes down the field. And then when they were there, the balance and body control, which are probably the 2 most important traits, in my opinion, of a receiver, other than the ability to generate separation and natural speed off the line of scrimmage. But the balance and body control just wasn't there. I mean, look, dude, I love Camden Brown. Love that kid, and I hope he continues to develop in this system. But that one that he misplayed in the air against Vanderbilt, damn, dude, he jumped 9 minutes before the ball got there. You know what I mean? Like,
he's got good hang time, though. I mean, let's be honest.
He did. He was in the air. But
man, I'm surprised he has a scholarship, man.
Oh, come on.
Look, man, I'm kind of over it, man, because this dude's 6'3", 6'4". He looks like a monster, and these DBs, man, I feel like he kind of gets picked on by smaller DBs.
He's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, who was injured the first half of the season, and how much did he lose in the timing aspect of it? I want to see him in a full offseason and see what he looks like in spring. I want to see what he looks like next fall. I'm not willing to give up on him. My whole point of saying that is that the timing was just never there for whatever the reason, whether it was lack of practice reps for a guy like Camden because he was still making up from what he missed in the first part, or if the talent just wasn't there to get it done with Shane Hooks or some of the other guys that we brought in. Who's the young man from North Texas I'm trying to think of that we hardly ever saw?
Shorter.
Jair Shorter. So it just, it never really developed for whatever the reason. What does Peyton Thorne look like going through a full spring? What does it look like with different weapons on the outside? I think it could look significantly different. Don't know that to be a fact, but when I look back at Michigan State, Peyton wasn't that bad, right? Like when he had elite weapons on the outside, Jaden Reed, when he had
I forgot about him.
The young man that's at Florida State now,
Keon
Coleman, he looked a lot different than he did this past season.
Absolutely, 100%. And look, I would be remiss if I didn't say this before I ask the next question. I've loved Auburn for a long time. I'm probably Jeffrey's age, and I
29
and whatnot. But a year ago, I made the decision. I wasn't too stubborn. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give Auburn Live a chance because I like Cole Pinkston. I like Jeffrey Lee. I like Jhead. I'm gonna join. So I became a member, and it was the best decision I could have ever made. These guys pump out content like you would not believe, and it's all A+ content. You could tell these guys aren't just throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks. These guys are digging deep to get the best truth, as far as they are concerned, and it's good stuff, and I can't say enough good things about Auburn Live,
man,
and about joining. And I think it's kind of ridiculous that they offered, for $1 a month. Jeffrey, you said only the YouTube people are supposed to know.
2 months for 50 cents a month for the first 2 months.
Unbelievable. I want to pivot to high school offensive lineman recruiting. And
good.
If we don't get Favor Edwin,
do
you foresee a surprise high school guy coming on board possibly? Or do you think they're just going to focus on the portal?
I would not.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, Sky. Hey, man, really appreciate what you said about us, man. That means a lot to us.
Yeah,
we really do.
We will happily accept your endorsement. That was a very good endorsement, man. We appreciate it. Sky's a well-known Auburn fan for sure out there. No, I would not rule out the possibility of another offensive lineman, whether it be high school or JUCO. I know that they're just continuing. Look, you got Rustin Young still out there.
Yep.
That's one that probably won't sign in December. So, again, don't forget, after December, there's still time to sign
it's not
somebody.
over.
What about Dylan Cinda? Who knew that was going to happen? That was a portal deal, but, I mean, he basically was a high school guy because he had just enrolled at Northwestern or whatever happened there. So, I can't rule it out. That's for sure. Right now, don't have any names, but can't rule it out.
Well, and if you're looking by the numbers, Auburn took 5 high school offensive linemen last year. If you get Seth Wilford, and I'm going to count him like a high school guy because he's got 3 years left to play.
Well, he would be in that 2023 class. So now you've got 6 guys in that same class. Well, unless they redshirted, except for Connor Lew.
Yeah, Connor Lew didn't redshirt, but everybody else did. So they thought you redshirt freshmen. But that goes to layer depth, right? I'm going to count him like a high schooler because you got 3 years left to wiggle. Really, you got 4 if you want to redshirt. So. But anyway, and then maybe you walk away with Cohen Eccles plus DeAndre Carter. That's 8 guys in 2 years. That's a lot packed into those classes. You know what I mean? So I don't know that you add another high school player, especially if you're going to take 2 portal guys, which we think they're going to do.
Yeah.
That puts you at 16 offensive linemen on the roster should you not lose anybody else. Really, you want to be at a kind of 16 to 17. That's kind of your number as it pertains to the offensive linemen. So I think you're about right from a number standpoint. So it really depends on if somebody else jump into the portal of whether or not we take another high school offensive lineman to me outside of Cohen Eccles or who he just, the young man from Atlanta up there. I'm struggling with his name right now.
Favor?
Yeah.
Favor. Oh, yeah, Favor.
Right. I mean, both of those right now at this point. I think
it's not over with Favor Edwin.
No.
It's not. Yeah, the trends have been bad for Auburn lately, but it's not over. So that could be one of your numbers. It really could. I could see him being in Auburn's class.
I could too. I really could. I think I dropped him below 50. I'll probably move him back to 50. There's a little bit of renewed confidence at Auburn. He was in Tuscaloosa this weekend for an official visit. I read where Saban's going on an in-home visit with him on Thursday. I got to feel like Hugh Freeze won't be far behind there. But there was a little bit more optimism today. At least it was like, hey, it isn't over. And that's pretty different than what we were told last week.
Right. The feeling is different, right? Like,
and then look what happened with Cole Eccles. Hell, I was, hey, it's going to be tough to flip him.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough to get.
It was getting tougher and tougher, and then out of the blue, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it was hilarious because I'm like, man, I feel like I hope our intel posting the gif of like the dude coming back to life. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, okay, all right. So Cohen Eccles, Favor Edwin, DeAndre Carter would be a hell of a class. Plus Seth Wilfred. You get those 4, man.
Yeah.
Even if you get 3 of those 4.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even if you get 3, I don't see us like.
I hear you.
I literally don't, because you don't want to overjam any one class. Like, you just don't. That's the situation we're in right now. And I think Cole made a perfect pitch about it the other day on the recruiting show. They are planning to take 2 impact guys in this portal class. Like that is the plan for them right now. 1 interior, 1 tackle. Maybe they take 1 more than that. I don't truly know. It probably would depend on how the high school class finishes. But if you get Cohen Eccles, you get DeAndre Carter, you get Seth Wilfred. I just really don't see, unless it's Favor Edwin, I don't see them really stretching for another guy unless there's somebody that's big time that we just don't know about.
And you got to remember, dude, these people aren't reaching. Remember, they could have had Khalil House.
Yeah,
correct.
That goes right in with the point I was making the other day, Jhead, about layer depth and how I think that just is really going to be tough to obtain these days. And is it the better bet to just go get impact? Forget about layer and depth, because you can't even trust a high school guy to stay anyway. I mean, the averages, just playing the law of averages, you're going to lose. Let's say you sign 4 offensive linemen. The law of averages says at least one of those guys is going in the portal.
Well, I think to create layer depth, that takes 3-4 years of recruiting, Cole. And I'm with you. You take 4 every year, and if one of them leaves, it's not as big of a deal, but you're kind of baking that in somewhat. But we just started baking that in last year. So you're probably another 2 years away of constantly taking 1 or 2 portal OL every season, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see a way around it.
How many we got on hold, Zach?
6.
Okay, let's get to them.
1500. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
It's Ricky from Birmingham.
Oh, Ricky.
Hey, Jay Lee.
What's on your mind, big dog?
Well, I got 2 questions and 1 request.
All right.
Shoot for us, Ricky. Go ahead, buddy.
My first question for everybody. Terry Thompson, Karen Coleman, and Y.E. Williams, which one of those you think is a generational player? And if not, which one has the potential to be a generational player?
No question for me. I've been saying it. Ryan Williams is a generational talent. If you didn't watch him the other night, I've seen the kid up close and personal for a while now. He is unreal, man. I mean, he's the real deal, dude.
Go ahead, Zach.
I was going to say his performance in the championship game,
wild.
I mean, he's just different. And I mean, I know what Saraland was trying to do on that last play. And no disrespect to KJ Lacey, I'm more confident in just putting Ryan Williams at quarterback and putting the ball in his hands over ever letting KJ Lacey touch it in that situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because they forgot about one guy there, Zach. His name is DJ Barber.
Yep.
He's a hoss, ain't he?
Don't run at him. Don't run at him.
He came across the field, dude, and made that play.
He was hauling.
Yeah, read it, Cole. That's the thing, dude. You saw him flip his hips and run, man. And things happen so quickly in the front 7 that if you don't have the instincts that he has, you don't make that play. You just don't. And I thought that was a really special play by him to be able to do that.
Ricky, an answer to your question, I think Perry Thompson is the most physically ready of the 3.
Yes.
I am just overly impressed with how physically impressive he is and how impressive he can be on the next level. I think Cam Coleman's got the highest ceiling because I don't think he's even scratched the surface of what he can be. Now, Ryan Williams is probably the best pro player. That guy is elite speed, elite acceleration. He's got that. Now, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but it don't matter. He has got the elite acceleration and speed. I mean, it's 99th percentile.
He's fun to watch.
Okay. Yeah, I would not want to be
I'm in a race with Waddle.
With who? Waddle? Yeah,
Waddle. I'd go Waddle.
Give me Williams.
Waddle. Yeah,
you take Ryan Williams over Waddle? Really? Is he that fast?
I can't, man. I watched Waddle on the college level and in the pros, man.
What's that shaking his head at?
Yeah, I was at that 2019 game.
Yeah.
Iron Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That was one of the single best performances I've ever seen from a college football player. I mean, his speed in person is disgusting. I mean, Waddle's that guy.
Hey, is Waddle even faster than Tyreek Hill?
I mean, I don't think there's anyone faster than
Is he faster than a cheetah? No.
They're on the same team. Is he even the fastest guy on his team?
But that's like comparing. That's being like, okay, you're on the track team, but are you faster than Usain Bolt? Like, that's such an unfair comparison.
No, you're right. You're true. But what I'm saying is, straight. You set them up at the goal line. They got to run 100 yards. I'm taking Williams.
Ooh, 100 yards or 40?
100. Let's do 40.
That's your opinion. You still you sticking with Ryan Williams over Jalen Waddle? Is that his name?
Yeah.
It's Jalen Waddle.
Like if they were both the same age right now, or are you saying that he's faster than Waddle right this second?
Yeah, he's that fast.
Oh my God, I don't know.
If he doesn't beat him, he's right with him.
Get him, Zach. Get him.
Hey, listen, dude, I love Cole's conviction on this.
I do too.
I'm with Zach, where Jalen Waddle's something special.
When I watch Jalen Waddle, I go, God dang, that dude is fast. When I watch Ryan Williams, that doesn't come to mind. It's that dude is so good.
It does me, and he's so sudden.
I'm telling y'all.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen the Percy Harvin stud in Ryan Williams, but he's so smooth with everything he does. I watched his senior year highlights today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the good news is this is a lot like Florida State. We're never going to get to see it happen. So,
yeah, Cole. You'll never convince Cole he's wrong. All right, Ricky. Good stuff, big dog.
Hey, my second question is for Jhead and Cole. Because y'all might go in details about this. Okay. In the next 5 years, which side of the ball will be more dominant? Is it going to be an offense or defense in the next 5 years?
Good stuff, Ricky. Hey, appreciate your call, man. All right, next 5 years, offense more dominant under Hugh Freeze, defense more dominant under Hugh Freeze.
That is a good question.
You'd like to believe what? You would like to believe that the blank will be more dominant.
The offense.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be the offense, and I think if they maintain the same scheme defensively.
But look at this defensive class.
I know, but the way the defense is geared up, they're going to give up some stats. Their whole thing is creating negative plays, turnovers, putting you behind the sticks.
Not so much being dominant.
Right. Like, I don't think they're trying to suffocate you more than they're just trying to knock you out, man. And so with that level of aggression, you're going to give up some big plays, man. Like, so I think the way they're set up, I think offensively you're going to be just more dominant, but I think the defense is going to be opportunistic, and I think they're going to be aggressive and good in their own right. Like, I mean, Ron Roberts, to me, he's a top 20 defensive coordinator in the country. Like, I honestly believe he's that good. Like, I think in-game play calls, Ron Roberts knows exactly what he's doing. Okay. It's just hard for me to argue with the weapons you're going to have on the outside and the running backs that you've got in this class. You're just so balanced, dude. That is really hard for me to say, but I'm going to go with the offense. I think
I'll stick with my theory about Hugh Freeze and what I've talked about with him being a defensive-minded head coach, and say that he ain't going to put them in a bad situation if he can help it. So that helps them a lot. And it helps any coordinator that may come in if Ron Roberts were to leave, in my opinion.
So we've got one each. He didn't want my opinion, so I
I'm
won't
not necessarily going for defense, but that's my point. I think defense is going to be good under Hugh Freeze. I don't really worry about the defense under Hugh Freeze.
No, I won't disagree with you. I think the offense is, when you start doing rankings and like total defense, total offense, with S&P Plus, I think the offense is going to probably be more dominant or higher up the scale. I think the defense is still going to be good. I mean, look, they don't call them the Land Shark D for nothing. Okay, when they had things rolling right there at Ole Miss, those guys were aggressive, they were fast, they were physical, they would light you up. But that same season, which I think was 2015, I think they averaged 37 plus a game.
Jeez.
I mean, they were lighting up scoreboards, man. I mean, it was nuts.
Oh, the offense was not the defense. Wasn't giving up 37.
No. The offense. Yeah,
okay. I like that point you made there, Jhead, too. If it's a Ron Roberts defense, there are some, there's some ways that they would give up some plays, right, and not be dominant.
Yeah,
I like it. All right, we got 5 more, Zach.
Yes.
All right, let's get it.
7408. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Gracie from Birmingham.
Gracie Skywalker, what's up?
Nothing much. How you been doing?
Pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Doing good.
I'm good. I've been feeling the confidence lately. I believe we're going to get Ryan Williams, KJ Bolden, and LJ McCray.
Ooh.
I got a good feeling that out of all the 4 teams that Cam Ward listed, I think we might get him too, because Florida State's got a quarterback coming back. I think Miami's going to get Dante Moore, and USC has Nelson. So if everything aligns, we might have a good shot at making the playoffs next year.
All right. I like Gracie. Hey, Gracie's one of the most outspoken Auburn fans on the Twitter sphere or the X sphere.
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Gracie.
Ryan every day.
What'd you say?
I said I've been tweeting at Ryan every day.
Yeah.
Look at you, Gracie.
I've been blowing him up.
There you go. Call your shot.
Like Cole does toilets.
Right after this.
All right, so Gracie got a good feeling about Ryan Williams, got a good feeling about LJ McCray, KJ Bolden. Gracie, we're going to talk about Cam for just a second, Cam Ward. But I appreciate your call, big dog. I appreciate your support everywhere we see you, man. Love you, big dog. All right, yeah, Cam Ward. Zach's shaking his head. I think I saw Florida State.
I heard Florida State's down to him and DJU. But because I follow Cam Ward like throughout high school as he played at the FCS. Obviously, that's my thing.
Yeah.
He's got a number. If that number isn't met by somebody, he's going to the draft.
Oh.
Yeah, I
he's
would
got a number in mind.
Yeah. And you're talking.
So if Auburn's not hitting that number, he's not coming there. And there's also been an increased interest from Ohio State recently, too. And from what I'm hearing, that Marvin Harrison coming back hype is they're trying to sell Marvin Harrison on bringing Cam Ward in and pairing him for a year.
Okay. Well, that would be my argument back to Gracie. That was a good point. But, if there is a price tag like that, I just don't see Auburn in the market for that right now.
Look, the price tag on that one's 7 figures. I can tell you that straight up. It's 7 figures, and it's probably somewhere between $1 to $2 million. Okay, for a 1-year deal.
All right, final 4. Make it happen, big dog. Appreciate you, Gracie.
1561. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
This is Jordan from Pell City.
Jordan from Pell City.
All right, Jordan. I got 3 questions for y'all real quick. I'm going to ask, and I'm going to hang up, and I'm going to listen to you talk, because I like hearing Jeffrey talk.
Appreciate you.
I hear you.
Appreciate you.
So my first question is, how much play time or what kind of role in the offense do you think is necessary to keep Perry Thompson and Cam Coleman happy and out of the portal in year 2?
Okay.
Okay. My second question is, do you think it's more likely that Robbie transfers in August or that he switches positions?
Okay.
Okay.
And my third question is, why do you think the Grayson McCall hype in the portal is not as high as it was last year?
Okay. Great stuff. I like that, Jordan.
Those are good questions.
I like it. All right, let's start Jordan's first thing. How much PT do we need to see from Perry Thompson and Cam Coleman to keep them happy and out of the portal? I honestly don't think that's going to be a problem, but it's a legitimate question. Do they? Is it more not so much playing time, but how many targets they're getting? You know, are we talking 50 targets next year as true freshmen? That's 5, 6, 7 a game. More than that?
I don't think it has to be that much. I mean, I think they need to be a contributor in the two deep. One of them probably needs to be starting, if I had to guess. The other one, a contributor somewhere between 20 to 40 catches, maybe something like that.
Okay. It sounds good to me.
I think if they're at 20 catches and they're being featured and they know that, like, hey, the guy in front of them, or they're going to be the apparent starter the next year, they feel comfortable about the quarterback situation, which I think could be the biggest thing is how do they feel about the quarterback? Because if they don't think that Auburn has a quarterback that can continue to feature them, that's when you start to really worry about them entering the portal, in my opinion. I think they have to be comfortable that they have a guy on the team that's going to be able to feature them and get them the ball because they have aspirations of playing well beyond Auburn.
I don't think Auburn's in a position in the wide receiver room to not make these two guys happy. Like,
yeah,
if they're not happy, something's wrong.
That's where the pitch comes in, because it's like, guys, no matter what, y'all are ready to go with what we got.
I mean, worst case scenario, too deep. There's no way there are, 6 guys better than them.
No, I don't. I mean, even if we bring in 2 more dudes,
it doesn't matter.
And the thing about
Robert Lewis, I know he's a slot guy, but he's a 1-year guy.
Yeah.
But even if it's Jared Brown next weekend, or of course that's the only big wide receiver. I think as Xavier Thomas was kind of a slot guy, right?
Yeah. They reached.
He's probably out.
The kid from Vanderbilt, who's a 1-year
Lee
guy.
Shepard.
Will Shepard.
Will Shepard is what I said.
Who was at Colorado this past weekend. And look, if you're Shepard and you're looking at Shedeur Sanders, they like to throw the football out there. I could see the appeal of wanting to go play in Colorado for one season. So,
and listen, this goes back to the point about what Sky said about the arm strength of Peyton Thorne, which I kind of agree with. I don't know if Peyton Thorne's got elite arm strength. I'm not sure about that. I think he's got really good accuracy. And in this offense, when you have a guy that you can throw a back shoulder to, Cam Coleman, Perry Thompson, it's not that hard to get those guys on the field. It's not that difficult. It's a repetition thing. It's not, hey, you're not thinking a lot when you're doing that. It's an easy read for the quarterback, and it's an easy play for the receiver. Just go make the play. And that's what they can do with these young guys to get them incorporated into the offense.
If I were to tell you a year from now, Auburn's going to have 2 1,000-yard receivers, who do you think they would be?
It would be the 2 guys that are presently committed, and it would be them.
Yeah.
Cam Coleman and Perry Thompson.
Yep.
Let me give you some stats real quick. 13 games played, 72 receptions, 608 yards, 5 touchdowns. You have any idea who I'm talking about?
Robert Lewis has similar stats, but I don't think that's him.
That's Laquan Treadwell's freshman season at Ole Miss.
Oh. So say those again.
13 games played, 72 receptions, 608 yards, 5 touchdowns. Do we think either one of those two is capable of that? I do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that, yes.
And so that shows you what Hugh Freeze is able to do with a freshman wide receiver.
In fact, I think that's more realistic than 2 1,000-yard receivers as true freshmen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe two 1,000-yard receivers in 2 seasons from now. Like maybe sophomore, junior year, that a 2 1,000-yard wide receivers is probably a lot more realistic.
Are you looking at his stats from Ole Miss, Jhead? Can you tell me what his sophomore, junior years are? Did he ever eclipse 1,000?
He did. So his sophomore year, he got hurt. Remember, he got his leg broke in that epic Auburn.
Yeah.
But it was only 9 games played, 48 receptions, 632 yards, and 5 touchdowns. His junior year, when he came back, even when he wasn't right, 82 catches, 1,153 yards, and 11 touchdowns.
My player comparison for Cam Coleman was Treadwell when I wrote up my article on him.
Just throw the ball up.
Okay.
Yeah, really. I mean, the back shoulder, you get to see that come back with these two guys. They abandoned that. They abandoned that single man matchup back shoulder stuff because they were like, the percentage is so low that we complete one of those, we can't do it. And that takes
the receiver. Yeah.
All right. You remember what I just said about balance and body control?
Yeah.
Cam Coleman, outstanding balance and body control and the ability to play the basketball ball.
He's so good. All right. Let's keep us going there, Zach. 3 more.
0448. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How about you?
My man laughed at you.
It's like it's real.
What's up, dude?
Oh, not much.
What's your name? I'm sorry, I was talking over you. Who are we talking to?
This is JJ from Claude.
From where?
Claude.
Oh, it's Claude. Yeah, remember we talked about it. JJ. We called him J-Day.
JJ from Claude, what's on your mind, big dog?
So my question for you guys is if National Signing Day ended today, what do you guys think our class would look like at the end of it besides what we have currently committed?
Yeah, he's right. He's right down from Johnson's tractor sales. Remember?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right, JJ. I was totally looking. Tell me that. I'm so sorry. I just think it's awesome.
If signing day were today,
okay,
who do we end up with?
Johnson tractor sales, awesome.
Okay. All right, JJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
anything else, JJ?
Yeah, man. Also, I wanted to get your opinion on Alvin Henderson.
Okay.
Do you guys think he's going to be committing to us soon?
You know what? I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. I think he's going to. Yeah, it was, this kid loves the game. He loves the process, and great for him. You know what? Hey, you get to do this one time in your life, big dog. Do whatever you want to do. It's your life. I'm not going to condemn him for anything. But I think it'll be sooner rather than later, but who knows?
My info, and you guys have more current info than I do, but my info earlier this year was probably March, April-ish is what you were looking at from a commitment time frame. That's what I was told back in September. I'm going to continue to kind of think that's it just because of the reasons you mentioned, Jeffrey. Look, and it's not me dogging the kid.
No.
But I do think he likes the attention. I do think he wants to attend several junior days. I do think that he's, still kind of working through the process. Like, obviously, I feel very comfortable where Auburn sits there, right?
Yeah.
But I think they're getting a good look at a lot of different programs right now. And so I'm not sure if he's going to cut that short or not. Because if you commit in January, is Hugh Freeze really going to want you visiting like 8,000 other schools? Is he going to prohibit him from official visit? No. But is he going to be getting the phone call of, hey, man,
dial it back.
Yeah, we need you to act like you're committed.
We were told December the 7th was a possibility for him. This was back in Cole, mid-November, late November.
Yeah.
We were told to keep an eye on December the 7th. Yeah. Okay. There you go. And then that came and went. And so now I'm just like, whenever it happens, whatever. I mean, it'll be a big deal. I'm just saying I'm not, marking it on my calendar. And, he's even been doing the hourglass thing on Twitter, and it's like, just let me know when you do it. All right, JJ, what was this? Who does he think? Who do we think right now Auburn signs on signing day?
Yes.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one. I will say I'll put Cohen Eccles in there.
Yeah. And that's the one I would say right now. That's your blue chipper. And then do you get one?
I'll put Favor Edwin in there.
I wouldn't argue with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wouldn't argue with you.
Just like you were saying, we've seen this where Joe Phillips was the example you used, trending towards Georgia the day before, and then boom, it happens. So if it's somebody they really, really want, we know what they're going to do.
Seth Wilford, Cohen Eccles,
Seth,
Fave. We'll put him on the border. I don't think Auburn's going to have a tight end on early signing day.
No, no tight end.
No no running back. Move to defense. The defensive line. Does Auburn sign LJ McCray? Do they get Amaris Williams? Do they get KJ Bolden? That's really the only three left on defense, at least that I'm aware of.
Let's see how Amaris's visit goes.
Yeah, I wouldn't put any of those in my class right now.
Yeah, too close to call on those right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Right.
But like we said earlier in the show, it's not going to be decided until the 19th, probably the 20th.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'm going to say no on KJ right now, but yes to a defensive back. I don't know who it is, but I feel like we're going to sign another defensive back. I got this feeling, man.
JJ from Claude, I would say I'd meet you at Bush's Grocery, but it's temporarily closed right now. So I'll take your rain check on that. Maybe meet down at Johnson's Tractor Supply. Claude, man, that's awesome, dude. Appreciate you, JJ.
4295. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hellfire, it's right over here.
Is it Benjamin Button? Oh,
no, Dan.
What's up, man?
Zach, you always put me as the caboose. I don't know how to feel about that.
No, man. There's still one last caller after you, man. So second to last this time.
Well, Dan, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you the cat gif? Is that you?
That's me.
Oh, the guy who does it?
He's doing this.
Yes.
Every time. I can't take it. It gets me every single time.
Every time we get a recruit, you're going to see my vibe cat.
I'm surprised you know how to work that technology.
Look, I'm a sucker for a recurring GIF. I am a sucker for it. I love that.
I think you got to find your, you got to. It's like a nickname.
You
got to get it, and once it works, you just stick with it and roll.
It just feels right. It just feels right. Like that's me.
That's right.
That GIF is me.
That's right.
So I got a simple one. Over under. Auburn's 2024 recruiting class finishes number 8 over or under.
We'll say 8.5. We got to put a half in there.
You do?
8.5.
Well,
so
we're going to do half. Let's do 7.5.
So either 7 or below or 8 or above.
I reckon.
So you got to make it over under half.
Okay.
Let me see where Auburn is right now. I know you don't understand that kind of stuff, Dan, but let all these whippersnappers take. Oh, okay. So Auburn's at number 11 right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not far off of Notre Dame. Not far off of. Damn, they're really not far off of.
It's tight, man.
It's very tight from 11 to 6.
Couple blue chippers, and it flips it big time.
Yeah. So over under. Dan wants to know 7.5. Does Auburn finish 7 or higher? And when by higher, I mean lower. 7 through 1. 1 through 7 or 8 above. Man, this is a good one right here.
I think the ceiling is 7 for me. I think the ceiling, well, I mean, look, now, if you want me to get real unrealistic, the ceiling's like.
Sure. I mean, it's a possible Auburn has KJ, LJ.
Look, if Auburn has
in the early signing period,
yeah, KJ,
Cohen Eccles.
I'll take the under. I will take the under.
You'll take 7 through 1 through 7.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take the over.
I think I do too, Cole.
I mean, we're just playing hypotheticals here, you know.
Well, here's the thing about this: we don't know what those other classes are going to do. We're just basing our projections based off of, well, will they get Cohen Eccles? How much will he move the needle?
Well, that's part of why I'm saying the over, because I don't know what the adjustments of other teams. What I do know is if you flip LJ and or somebody else from Florida jumps out of that class, they're about to move to the back of the bus.
You're right.
KJ Bolden's a 5-star plus. I mean, if you just get him.
Hey, if Florida loses Lagway.
Oof. Now, I don't think Lagway's flipping. It feels like he's tied to Billy at the hip. But
okay. I thought I saw who was speaking.
There's some flirting going on with Texas A&M, but I don't know.
Yeah. So, I think it's A&M. God, man, that's just so hard for me to say.
This over we need to. It's kind of like an Iowa. It's kind of like an Iowa over under. You want to take the over, but I mean, no, the under might hit.
Oh, you do. Look at Cole. He's over there. He's interested because he's pulling that beard. He's like, God, I just want to say the under.
I mean, I'm saying in this hypothetical, I will say the under.
I'm going to say the over just because I don't know what the adjustment's going to be by other teams. Like, I don't know who all's left on the board enough nationally for me to say Auburn is definitely moving under 7.
I mean, it's a total guess at this point.
It is, man, because who knows who's going to flip. I mean, look, let's be honest here. Did anybody have Jordan Seaton landing at Colorado 2 days ago? Because I sure didn't.
No.
So who knows, man, what's going to happen out there. And there's going to be some head-turning moves. I can promise you that. I mean, I think there's going to be some last-minute NIL deals that are going to completely and utterly shock people.
Yep.
And then I think in a year from now, those people, some of those deals won't be real.
Let me piggyback off of Dan's question here. If Auburn loses out on KJ Bolden, LJ McCray, on those two, Amaris Williams,
okay,
is there disappointment among the fan base?
Yes,
and finishes 10 to 12.
There will be, but there shouldn't be.
No, you will have hit all of your needs. If you get Cohen Eccles and you get those other 2 offensive linemen we talked about, and you sign everybody else in your class, you will have hit all of your needs that you had to have. Now, you're going to have to go into the transfer portal to get some impact at certain spots, but you will have hit every absolute need you had to have. You needed a big wide receiver class. You needed a big linebacker class. You got both. You needed an edge rusher. You got it. You needed solid defensive linemen in this class. You got them. TJ Lindsey and Malik Blockton are 2 guys I think in 2-3 years from now are going to really be tearing it up in the SEC. They have that kind of upside. Now they're not ready to play today, but neither was Marcus Harris, and you saw what he did this season.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think let's get to our last call. I don't want to make wait any longer.
Okay.
Good stuff, man.
0506. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
This old hog bone.
Hog bone.
I love it.
Hey, enjoyed the show tonight, guys. Do have a question for you though. It's about this NIL and this big money contracts that so-called people are getting. I've heard that a lot of that is national branding. Like they're getting $1 million from a corporation. As a spokesman and stuff like that. And can On the Victory get involved with promoting that, or how does that work? Anybody know?
I think that's kind of On the Victory. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jhead. You know much more about OTV than I do as far as the inner workings, but it's almost like we have these opportunities with these businesses, with our, do they not act almost as a liaison and almost like I don't want to say agent, but you sign with OTV and we find endorsements for you.
Sure. So the opportunities are there. They absolutely serve as a conduit to some of the players.
There you go, conduit. There you go.
There are other opportunities that players come across, and then OTB also checks into, are these legal? Are these like legitimate opportunities? What have you? So they kind of vet it a little bit for them as well. I don't think they endorse so much from the corporate aspect of things. They do at local, like guest appearances,
autograph
signing, things like that.
Just a tweet.
Exactly. But they're not doing like big Under Armour deals or anything like that. I don't think that's running through them. That's credentialed elsewhere. But no, they do a lot for these guys. They also teach them how to pay taxes. There's a lot of other things that OTV does in-house that you wouldn't think would necessarily fall underneath their umbrella.
And Jhead, it's like I'm confused on the whole deal too, because it is just confusing. But
yeah,
it's like its own LLC, like its own business, like a separate entity from Auburn University too.
It is.
That's what NIL was made for, was for separate entities from the university to pay, sponsor a kid, pay a kid, whatever you want to pay them.
That's correct. So you had to have that separation of university and third-party entity because of the way the rules are currently framed. Yeah. Now, obviously, Charlie Baker has put out some recent guidelines, and I think that was broken by On3 and Andy Staples and multiple other people. Pat Forty and he used to cover the beat with you guys, Jeffrey.
Marcelo?
Marcelo.
No, not Marcelo.
Ross Dellinger.
Yeah, Delly. Yeah, I mean, but he broke that story. I think On3 has since run with it. Andy Staples has done several features on it on his podcast. But obviously, Charlie Baker's got some rules and guidelines out there, but they're trying to create another tier where you would bring the ability to pay players in-house and for you to be able to finance and collectively bargain that way. And it'll be interesting to see how that transpires. I think the current presentation is far too vague and not nuanced enough, and that the Title IX aspect of it is going to be particularly sticky when you start talking about equal payment to various athletes of different genders, because at the end of the day, it's still a profit situation, right? And if the finances aren't there to support paying equality, and I'm not trying to be rude when I say this, but if a female athlete doesn't generate the same revenue a male athlete does, how can you pay him the same thing? And vice versa. That's what happens to generate more.
That's what happened at Oregon. The women's basketball team and everything sued the university because they weren't getting enough NIL compared to the football team. That's already started happening out west.
Well, Title IX kind of blurs that line,
It does. I mean, it makes it very clearly that what you do in one sport, you have to do in another. Now, the wiggle around that right now is, and that's why you have the third party, is because OTV is not affiliated with Auburn University, even though they work very much hand in hand with one another.
Right.
It's separate. When you bring that in-house, you don't really have that opportunity to do as such. And so how they handle that will be very interesting if this ever even gets off the ground. And I think there's a push towards that. I think there's a lot of interest in colleges now because of donor fatigue and how you have to hit the same people over and over again for your collective.
Yeah.
To be able to use that TV money to pay players. And then also contractually, maybe they can't get into the portal the same way they could before if you're now a contract employee of some sorts. So those will all be very interesting to see how that goes down.
You know what? I just like to understand it better. If one of those big dog donors are listening, let's go have a Suburban one night. I'll buy a Hellfire.
Yeah, I'll join y'all.
Take me out and help me understand this.
And let me get on your tab too there.
All right, that cleared them up, didn't we, Zach? That's fantastic. 14 calls. We knocked them off. Listen, we're going to be back. It's Monday night. It's Tuesday morning. We're going to release the recruiting show. Then we'll do it again Friday morning. I think I said that wrong. I don't know if I did or not. But anyways, it was a fantastic show. Kevin from Wilmer. How about that big dog getting us started off? You know what I mean?
Yep.
I like that. Go ahead and end that Perry Thompson suspense. Whatever the suspense is. Oh, Jafar. That's what I said. Carter Malden and his Bammer wife. Anthony from Montgomery, fantastic, man. He always gets us talking about some really good stuff. I always enjoy Anthony. A96 called in. He was very appropriately toned. We appreciate that. Yeah, A96. Braden from Bryson City. Remember old cuz? He was a short-lived caller. Busted his ass. Wasn't that the guy?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. David from Kings Mountain, good stuff in North Carolina. Sky from Underwood, fantastic call tonight. We really appreciate it, Sky. Absolutely. Ricky from Birmingham. Oh, Gracie. How about old Gracie calling in? Love some Gracie now. Jordan, appreciate him. JJ from Claude, done it by Johnson's Tractor Motor Supply. Wardan Eagle and Hogbone. Had some fantastic callers. We always do. Love you guys, man. I look forward to this.
Hey, JJ from Claude in the comments right now. Jeffrey said he saw you in Montgomery the other day.
For real? Whereabouts?
He see you over there at Jay Tate's house?
Montgomery. I would have probably been either going to or coming back from the hunting club.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, or is he?
Never mind.
Yeah. Is it supposed to rain tomorrow?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, folks. We're going to end it there. Don't forget Auburn live on 3. Use that promo code AU1. Get signed up for 50 cents for the next 2 months. I'm like Sky. But hey, listen, I love it, man. I love all the interactions we have on the corner message board. It's a lot of fun, man. We got a lot of great posters there, a lot of good intel, a lot of good insight. My favorite message board is by far. It's the only one I go to. But appreciate everybody, man. We really do. Don't forget Jessica Andrus. If you're looking for a house in or around Auburn, Opelika, 334-704-4442. Give her a call. Tell her we sent you. I promise you, she's a 5-star realtor. Consensus. All 3 consensus. All right, folks, it's going to wrap it up for this week. Look for us Tuesday. Look for us Friday. Then we'll be back Sunday night for the pre-signing day show. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, to everybody, for watching. For Cole Pinkston, for Zach in the back who came to the front. For Jhead, I'm Jeffrey Lee. Man, y'all stay out of that left lane. See ya.